Step outside.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We are Indigenous Ways, and we'd like to acknowledge our traditional owners of the country throughout Turtle Island and pay respect to our elders, past and present, and our future elders as well. We want to take this time to acknowledge our traditional owners and caretakers, ancestors of these lands we reside on here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We live amongst 19 pueblos all around us. And wherever you're beaming in from, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners and ancestors of your lands where you are so we could all be here today. So, Indigenous Ways is dedicated to bridging cultural exchange with people globally. Indigenous Ways virtual event started April 1st, 2020, so we could stay connected during these challenging times of the global pandemic. We have supported over 70 Native American, Indigenous, LGBTQIA2 plus artists, musicians, presenters at our Wisdom Circle, which is every Wednesday at this time and the third Saturday of each month at 3 o'clock. So we host these live concert series, and thank you for sharing your space with us, whether you are live or on one of our many social media platforms or watching the recorder into the future. Thank you, and you're welcome. So this evening, we are extremely honored to have one of the most prolific, amazing poets that I have ever heard, read, laid my eyes on for live stage interpreting. Enina J is with us tonight, and she hails from Chicago, Illinois, via Zoom. And we have so many stories yet untold that we're going to share in the future because we are connected to Enina J through her literature, through her poetry. She has just started an evening poetry session where we can all join. And I hope maybe she'll talk about that towards the end of the show this evening because I'm definitely interested in joining that. Whatever you've got, Enina J, you got a class, you got a session. I want to learn how to write just like you.
Mm.
So, okay, without much more, I'm going to go ahead and pass this evening microphone to Nina J. Everybody enjoy yourselves and buckle up. Let's give it up for Nina J. Woo!
Hello. I thought we were doing questions first. Is that questions
Yes.
last?
Yeah, I just wanted to say hi, Nina
Oh, okay.
J. And do you want to introduce yourself? And
I thought you did a pretty good job. Only thing I need people to know about me tonight is that I'm a woman, I'm black, I'm a lesbian, and I'm a poet. And I hope that my work will do the rest of that speaking for me.
beautiful. That is you're going to hear me say that many times because I'm in awe of you. So I'm really interested in poetry, and I actually had to read a book about how to read poetry because I wasn't able to really hear poetry the way it was meant to be received. It was difficult, I found it, because every word is so dignified and stands on its own. Every line stands on its own. So, my question for you this evening is what got you into poetry?
I like that you asked me that. I've always written from a little girl. I had my fourth grade teacher tell me that I had a talent for it, and I believed her. So I was always into poetry. I think when poetry got into me, though, it was like my mid 30s, perhaps. Yeah,
So, why is poetry important to you?
because it's my language. It's my first language. It's the thing I speak the best. It best describes it's the best instrument to communicate how I feel and what I think. I'm more comfortable in it. Um, it's like I come from like a country of poetry, and I'm just speaking English to get by and talk to people. But I mean, I don't. This is uncomfortable for me. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was there with you in Elena, I would love the moments when you guys would slip into your own native tongues and speak to each other in a language that I didn't understand. But what would happen when you guys were talking like that, your bodies and your voices would change. There would be more warmth there. You know, the way you moved was softer. It was just more like a part of you. And I think that that's what poetry is for me. I just feel at home in it. I feel ill equipped to communicate without it. It's very difficult for me.
Very interesting. So, when you write a poem or get an idea for a poem, is there a setting or a space that you like to be in, or better yet, how do you get your inspiration?
That's two questions. I answer
Okay.
the first one short
Uh,
though. Um, where do I like to be? I would like to be in a comfortable chair or on my bed, um, with candles lit and like soft music in the background. I like to be with my poetry like that. But often what actually happens is I'm in the car or I'm in the grocery store or at the dollar store or I'm in the middle of something with the kids, the most inopportune times. But I've learned to be obedient to that. There's a discipline involved with that that I had to accept and take on if I wanted to do the work that was more honest. You know, it'd be different. I can't always wait for a free time and sit down. If I write a poem every time I do that, I know that poem's gonna be a lie because I forced it out. And I
oh,
don't like to do
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as what inspires me, other poets inspire me. Art inspires me. Feelings, emotions, all of that inspires me. I like raw things, naked things. I like gritty things. I like people who move from the most passionate places inside themselves. Makes it comfortable for me to live that way because that's how I dream to live. You know, not trying to sound codependent, but it is difficult to live very clean and very crisp when everybody else is okay living in a pretend world. You know, so um, that inspires me. Real moments, tears, pain, rage. I use those all as instruments to deal with those emotions so I don't do other things that could get me put in prison or could get me killed. It's a safe way for me to negotiate my resistance and my rage and my pain. It's the best way because I wouldn't be able to live the other way because I do things and I probably to myself as well, you know. So that's that. That's what inspires me and other Black poets, specifically Black women poets.
Wow, that's amazing. So we're really looking forward to hearing some of your poetry tonight. Would you be willing to give us one of your poems now?
Well, I'm giving you two. You said two tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Let's.
I'm gonna say it's yours. Give the one you asked me for first.
All right.
All right, is that cool?
That's awesome.
I knew it was cool. I was just stalling. Okay.
Awesome.
Step careful into this house I am, this body of rooms. If I don't break up the boards of these floors, shatter open these windows and doors, this body shall become my tomb. I walk myself like a hallway, and each door these finger traces. In these rooms, a woman is not living and a little girl needs forgiving. I gotta restructure this structure into fleshly spaces. So I'm releasing the birds that have dreams and letting the sky catch the screams that I thought were just creeps beneath floorboards. I'm gonna let these demons tear my seams and light them, not the dark that they seem. Mere remnants of the pain and shame this poet hoards. A little Black girl lives in that room. I ain't been in there in a while. She get right up in my ear, whispering stories I don't want to hear. But how could I be scared of a little child every time I open the door to that room? She's got this heavy need that looms. She plays hide and seek to make me guess that little girl needs more than I possess. I don't go in that room. Plus, she's got this closet that has floors that are made of quicksand where she plays games with this grown man, this well respected and known man. He ain't got no kids of his own, man. He likes to tickle and touch a little stone. And my God, just leave the kids alone. And this little girl that made a clone and another, so she ain't alone. And she ain't got to hear his grunts and groans. And I can't save her now because that bird is flown. You see, all these tiny drones and clones, they play inside that room alone. And I stand outside that room like stone. I just pretend I'm never home. I mean, I tiptoe past that room. And across the hall is the lady. Maybe you heard about. Some insane lady that screams and shouts a lot of rage that I would rather live without. Every time I open that door, she cuss me out, calls me a coward and blocks me out. I pretend like I don't know what she mad about. But she want to pick me up and shake me out so all my bullshit falls right out and she can live a life without so much to say, without a mouth, and being haunted by the little girl across the hall who laughs so loud, flinging blood on the wall. She's not the kind of kid that plays with ropes and dolls. I mean, she teeters on the edge of these halls like a too high cliff, and she's always about to fall. There are many wild girls and women that my rigid structure consumes. This house is not a house. This is my body of rooms where dreams split apart, birthing black roses that bloom and climb and twist vines. I'm saying this house is not a tomb, and I care not if you love what you find in my rooms. I care not if you're afraid and you're prone to dimming lights, because I'm writing for the old woman who roams my hallways at night, thinking she's nothing except despair and doom. But I'm not gonna let her die, leaving only pain as heirloom, believing the hallways are safer than living these rooms. These beautiful rooms, Tosh. I got some beautiful rooms. I am opening the door to my chaotic rooms. This house is not a tomb. This black rose can still bloom. I am making a home of this body of rooms. Thank you. I haven't read that in a while, in a
Wow.
minute.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Uh,
welcome. Thank you for
I,
always wanting it.
I,
Sh- She likes to
I
feel
want to,
wanted.
I want to hear that poem over and over again for the rest of my life because I get something different from it, more to it every time because there's so much there. It's just to me, it's all encompassing. It's like beyond Shakespeare. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing. So, thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I'll
You're
probably
welcome.
continue to ask for that poem because it just comes
It's
out of
okay.
you with
I
absolute
love it. I'll do for you every time.
yeah.
Just
Thank you.
because you love it, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah. So, President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month in 1976. Has the month of February had any significance to you for this recognition?
No, I was thinking about this because I knew you were going to ask me about it. And I got to thinking, now in 1976, were white people really trying to give black people gifts? Because that's the way it's given and that's the way it's lived. Like it's a gift for black people, almost like a sort of reparation. It's like, okay, then we're going to set aside a whole month so people could learn about you. And I used to feel so good about that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm finding after 50 years of Black History Months, learning about my heroes, which is a great thing, learning about the places we've been, which is a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Learning about who invented what, which is a great thing. But what good is it doing me, or what good is it doing my people if we learn all those things, learn about Rosa Parks, learn about Booker T. Washington, but still getting our asses shot by police, and still trying to live lives that's full of struggle and still being other and still just dying every day. There's so much that's still happening. And so 1976, do I think Gerald Ford was doing something that was about black people? Nah. I don't think they gave a shit about black people at all, same as they don't now, you know. So if it wasn't a gift, I had to ask myself, what was in the box then? You know what I'm saying? Like what was in the box because you weren't trying to give me a gift. And is that the distraction? You know, there's something that just tied us over. Like, um, if you like have a farm, oh my God, why this analogy? If you have a farm and, you know, two horses, one of the horses is sick and you know you got to put it down. So you might do something else to distract the other horse. That fucking analogy is not gonna work for me. It's not gonna work for me. What I'm trying to say is I think the month would be more useful if we switched it up, you know, and did White People's History Month, you know, because I don't need white people to know, you know, about my people and our past. I don't need them. The thing that I need from them is to talk to the brother that's driving the truck. Like, this is cleanup work for me. You know, it's cleanup work for me. Imagine some garbage truck driving in front of a crowd of people just dumping garbage out on the world, out on the street. And here we are, people of color back there cleaning it up. White man is driving the truck and we back there cleaning it up. And so here come these white people now. And instead of going up there and talking to the motherfucker driving the truck, they're gonna come back here and help clean up the mess when they have the power to get the guy to pull the fucking truck over and stop putting, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the month would be more useful if white people took some time and did some revolutionary self-reflection. Got that term from a friend of mine. Revolutionary self-reflection. Connect yourself to your own history. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the
Yes.
other reasons they
Yes.
latch on to us. Discover what that's about. If I'm haunted by slaves, you'll find this in the poem I'm gonna do for you later. That's a question I ask. If I'm haunted by slaves, who are you haunted by? And what is it that they want you to say? And what is it that they want you to do? Because my ancestors are not talking to you. You know what I'm saying? What are your ancestors saying to you? And where you come from? Who were those people? What you gonna do with that? So I think, you know, we learn about our history every day. Black History Month was never about black people. It wasn't. And it didn't change a damn thing for our lives and the plight of us in this country. Taught us some things, yeah, but we didn't get free from it. That's how I feel about Black History Month. The month of frustration, you know.
Yep.
That's that. I don't want to say nothing else about that.
Well, thank you. I have compassion from a Native Indigenous standpoint, and
Y'all behind the
I,
truck too. They
yeah,
dumping shit out on your road too.
yeah, that's right, that's right. And but you know what's so beautiful, Enina J, is you're here, I'm here, we're going to continue to be here,
And Gerald Ford is
and
not.
Gerald Ford is not. That's correct. So, can you tell us about? I read this book of poetry on how to read poetry, and it just amazed me at all these different types of poetry. And when the revolution came with the 50s beatnik movement, where Allen Ginsberg and all these other poets got together and said, "We don't want to play by those rules no more. We want to float in the cloud. We want to do what we want to do with this poetry, and we want to take it to another level." And they started to do this. Uh, the Dada movement happened like in the 20s with the art movement, and the poetry followed, and it just went through this different revolution to more kind of open prose, as opposed to all of this really strict stuff that you had to do with the iambic pentameter and stuff like that. So can you tell me a little bit about your style of poetry, or do you have a style?
No, that's what I feel. I mean, that's it. I'm, I don't have a complicated answer for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really just how I feel. I'm not trying to write like anybody. I'm not trying to um, follow any kind of etiquette or protocol. I don't believe in that. I think that's just an arrogant way to look at art, period, or to look at someone's voice, you know. Um, unless you're just doing it for the fun of it. And I'm not doing it just for the fun of it. Now, if it was just, you know, something that I need to like play like a game or something and just fine tune it, or I play, you know, piano and just to enjoy it or something like that, but I'm not doing poetry for that. And so I'm not.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate hearing that because people ask me, why do you play music? I learned to play music to live.
Right.
I learned to play music to survive,
Right.
and it worked. It was
Yeah.
medicinal for me. And
And I'm
I go
thankful for
back
your
to it.
music.
I go back to it when I need that sacred healing. And there's nothing else that can do it. Like poetry for you is like music for me. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, can we hear another one of your poems?
All right.
Thank.
Oh shit. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. Did you ever leave?
No,
Because
never.
I switched to another window. Okay.
No, we're here.
What up? What up? I probably will never read this poem again. My first time reading it out loud, but since it is Black History Month, I thought it would be fitting. And it'll be nice to give her a life because I don't plan on giving her much life. I can tell you that. This poem is called Witness. Attempt number one. Young Black girl named Slave, sweating and clenching, grunting and choking, her baby coming, but she don't push. She don't want to push. She need to push. She can't push that crying baby out, not if she want to keep it. Because if she ain't quiet, if that baby slide out screaming, Miss Ann been watching from the porch of the big house. That black belly just grew. Miss Ann is born of wolf. Smell blood in the air, sends man on a horse, moans to a halt outside the grunting cabin. The baby coming. Black girl, she had to push. Then her baby had to scream. Miss Ann's horseman snatched that bloody light brown baby out of mother's black arms. Mama's scream split the hanging tree. Baby's cries gallop away into the night, never to be heard again. It's not that the horseman loves light brown babies. He don't. He loves Miss Ann. And Miss Ann hate the sight. Light brown babies hate the white made brown babies. Miss Ann sells light brown babies, watches husband stock the shelves with light brown babies. She stitches into little light brown skin bags of money. Shit. I gotta move here through here quickly, like they trying to outrun a collapsing bridge over blazing waters. The promise of drowning, the promise of burning our mother's stories. Attempt number two. Miss Ann, she had a baby too, but she would rather not. She would just rather not. She has her reasons. Miss Ann, desperate for names to call her smiling hate, watch her white babies learn to love chocolate milk. Black girl, mama breasts swell, painful with mother's milk. There is no brown baby left to drink. Miss Ann, who has her reasons, orders black girl dragged through the dirt to the big house. Miss Ann forced swollen black breasts into the mouth of her starving white child. Miss Ann smiles. She has her reasons. Attempt number three. I keep freezing as the images hit my body like fists. It's paralyzing, it's breathtaking what's living in my DNA. The horror, the apathy, the willingness, the cruelty. Miss Ann, what is living in your DNA? I can only imagine what my mothers imagined they would do to you if they could. Suddenly, I wonder, are there slave owners who haunt you like the slaves who haunt me? Do they beg of you to be spoken? Never can walk this road for long, likely to get lost in a world of pain, unable to remember how to get back. Attempt number four. 12 years old and black. She just a baby herself. Daughter of Harriet and Nate, born warrior that she was, she still could not stop it. They raped her, of course. No such thing as a black baby girl, two ponytails and a big round belly filled with the one thing she hoped will love her, the one thing she knows she can love, her baby. Told herself no matter what? She will feed her own baby, not no white one. Monsters. They called masters. And the monsters born of those monsters. One night they grab her feet off ground. She fights and screams. The men's eyes full of light and laughter do anything for Miss Ann, who's got her reasons. Watch them handle that black baby girl like an animal. They grab, they rip, they yank her breasts, milk her breasts like udders, like she is a cow. They milked her fighting body like a cow, not anything human, not anything precious, not anything at all. This poem is a death that I wanted to dance. Attempt number 5. I can hear them, my mothers, my grandmothers. Their blood moans through me. Their blood sounds like drums, tastes like new death on my tongue. The stories of me, the stories of you, the stories stored in us black girls. Will we ever be able touch it all, eat it all, swallow it all, heal it all, survive at all? Attempt number 6. Sometimes the her story that haunts me, the stories I dare myself to absorb, make me wonder if it is truly possible to ever deeply have a white friend that I don't sometimes hate. What lives in your DNA and mine? Do slave owners haunt you relentless the way slaves haunt me? Attempt number 7. It happened so suddenly for me without warning. From some corner of my soul, I'll hear women screaming screams I've never heard before. They terrify me in their urgency to be heard, journey through yesterdays in my body, in my psyche, in my DNA to find these women, to touch these women, to bear witness these women's screams. I find them chained, girls and women, pitch black in the bottoms of ships and shacks between cracks, laid and stacked back to back on tracks with racks like they snacks. Damn it! Attempt number 8. I am made of old crime scenes. There are brutal murder scenes in my DNA. This me on my hands and knees trying to find tiny pieces of evidence of myself. Don't touch nothing. There's a stench in your DNA. Dead bodies in your DNA. There's a rotting in your DNA, Miss Ann B. Your DNA, her and all of her reasons. Why you walking around like you got nothing to do, like you got nothing to know, like you got nothing to deconstruct, like you got no debt to pay. Sometimes walking around my crime scenes, leaving your bleached fingerprints on everything. Bleach might clean stains, but never the bodies. Last attempt. Wet nurse. Defined as a woman employed to nurse another woman's child. I guess her payment be her own stolen, malnourished baby. Those black women, our ancestral mothers, our ancestral daughters, those screams thrown through throats, thrown through graves, thrown through DNA now live inside of us, burn inside of me. What they did to you, what they did to us. So hard to look at you. So hard to look at me like this. Sometimes I fall so hard, wanting to walk, mostly running through your blood, too fast to taste it, to know it, to understand that it's the same blood still running in me. And Miss Ann, I hear you. Tell yourself what I've tried to tell myself. Slavery is over. This is 2021. It was so long ago. Perhaps you'll be more successful with that forced separation than I have been because of that. I swear sometimes I can still smell my mother's milk on your breath. Thank you.
Thank you. Powerful.
Thank you, Winter.
Powerful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being a safe place, a place where I wanted to bring. Thank
I believe it's important to to speak the truth so that we can all heal. You know, we went to Germany a few years ago on a tour, and we were hosted by a woman in Germany. And she said, I'll take you anywhere in Europe in my Mercedes, beautiful 6-speed car, and you can drive the Autobahn anywhere you want to go in Europe. I said, wow, I want to drive the Autobahn. I want to do 200 Ks. That's what I want to do. That's about 120, 130 miles an hour. And I did it. But I said one thing. I said, I want to go to a camp. She would not do it. She would not do it. A Jewish camp. And she would not do it. I said, I want to do it. So we came back to the States and we actually went to the Washington, D.C. Um, museum, the memorial. I forget what it's called. The Holocaust Museum. There we go. And it's it's a game changer for us to be able to face the truth of our history, of our her story. It's painful, and thank you for being so courageous and writing your truth. I love you, Enina J, with all my
I love you
heart.
too, Todd. I
You're
love you.
welcome back to New Mexico anytime you want. We'd love to have you.
Are you still gonna have cat
Do
stuff on
another
my
one of your
head?
poetry concerts for us.
Yeah, I want to also do another one together.
Yeah,
I
that'll
really
work.
love that
Yeah,
experience.
we'll sing you your favorite song too. Am
Don't
I
you
ready?
tease me. Don't you tease me.
Yeah. All right. So, with everything we went through last year with this pandemic that just hit us overnight, and all of a sudden we were separated but connected and got to find out new ways of survival and how to thrive and be of purpose this year is our theme. Last year was how do we rise and be resilient? And you know, for the indigenous people, we just keep going. We just
Yeah,
keep going because so much has happened in that DNA that we carry
yeah.
that we just keep going and keep surviving and try to stay safe and try to stay alive so that we don't be exterminated. So here we are tonight, this evening. Can you tell us about how you are going to be full of how is your thriving and your purpose moving from here and forward? What's your plans?
um, my life is in an unpredictable place. You know, right along with
Up a little
everybody
bit. Can you
else's.
speak up a little bit, Enina J?
Yeah. How about this?
That's better. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, I actually don't have any plans right now. I don't know what's going on. Until we can get back out there and get to work in the ways that we normally do. It's about the hustle and just trying to find new ways to support yourself, take care of yourself, and, myself. I mean, take care of myself and support myself, and just try to manage, and find peace where you can, which is difficult for me during this time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Enina J. That was just absolutely riveting, riveting. And keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. So we're going to move on to inviting people to come on in just a moment. But first, I want to make a couple of announcements and just mention that next week we have our beautiful sister, Eve Wiggins, Wednesday, February 3rd at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And she is a woman of purpose and she is powerful. So please join us next Wednesday. She is a deaf woman and she loves to go to third world countries and give other deaf children education and communication in sign language. So, for more information about Eve Wiggins and all of our February Wisdom Circle and Concert Series presenters right above me, just go to indigenousways.org. It's a very user friendly website. You'll also find a video library you can click on in events of over 70 presenters we have hosted through this platform to keep us connected. We'd love for you to share this recorded video with everyone, which will be available in the next 48 hours on our website, IndigenousWays.org. Nina J. While at our website, IndigenousWays.org, please subscribe to our weekly newsletter. Then you can stay up to date with what we're doing. And below me, all our social media pages, please like, subscribe, especially if you're currently viewing from one of them right now. It's very easy, and this really helps us too. So thank you. All our virtual events have amazing ASL interpreters, and all these events are free thanks to our sponsors: Native American Advised Fund, Santa Fe Community Foundation, Westaff, and New Mexico Arts. And we're always grateful to our Indigenous Ways board members and individual donors. And moving on to the next topic, we just completed our Navajo Nation relief run yesterday. We did a round trip around Shiprock and through the Four Corners area towards close to Utah and through Arizona, where we were able to um, deliver 35 boxes of PPE equipment, food, cleaning supplies. And on this trip, it was particularly special. But first, I want to thank our ARF sisters. That's just the way it sounds, ARF for Frank. Our ARF sisters came and helped us pack. And when you come, Nina J, we're definitely going to hook you up with our ARF sisters and maybe even do a show on the land. That's the women's land.
Mhm.
So you can even camp out there too. I think they got a spare cabin for you as well. So
Okay.
we want to thank our Gaia sisters. That's what we like to call them, our Gaia sisters. And we were able to deliver 11 boxes to our Navajo Deaf connections on the reservation that have mostly been left out, and have been able to deliver food to the McKinley County, New Mexico, and Arizona as well. It was a very, very long, healing, beautiful journey on the road, and we're grateful for that. So, as always, if you want to donate, you can go to the top of the page. There's a banner for the Black Mountain uh, when when we are out of quarantine. We'll head back up there. We're back in quarantine because we just came from the Navajo Nation, so we're now in a 2-week quarantine. We're still staying with the CDC guidelines, and there is also a physical address for those who prefer that as well. And now is the wonderful time where our goal is to invite you all to come in so that we can all talk to Enita J. And mind you, we have some uh, comments that I would like to read before we get started. As you let yourself in, I'll get that part going. We got Susan Frazier, who says, thanks to Nina J and to Indigenous Ways, you are all amazing. Our beautiful sister, Marcia Valdez, thank you. Would love to hug you again.
Mhm.
Janie Immerman from New York City. Thank you, Nina Jane. Jay, I will not forget you and your words and want to hear more. And you can do that, Janie Immerman. She's on all social media sites that I know of. So check
Mostly
Nina J out.
Facebook. Mostly
Mostly
Facebook.
Facebook. And then there's Lourdes Perez. Oh my God, we love
We
you,
love
Lourdes.
Lourdes.
Love your
Love you, sis.
poetry. Thank you, sisters. You keep us going. So,
Hey, Monet.
okay, who wants to start tonight? Go ahead and raise your hand. Raise your hand. Hey, there's our sister Arletta. We just saw her on the res yesterday. Hi, Arletta. We love you. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and guide it. So let's start with Amber, our ARF sister who helped us pack. Hey, what's up?
Mhm.
I haven't been an ARF sister since 1986, but that's okay. I love y'all. I love y'all. And thank you. Thank you. There was a beautiful reframing that happened for me. in your words, and particularly um, and I do have ancestry uh, from the other side of that story as well, but particularly the part about what do my white ancestors say to me, um, because the thing haunts me and I haven't framed it as them haunting me. And the last line of that poem, kick my ass. Thank you.
Mine too. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you so much, Amber. You have no idea how much we love you. Uh, let's move on down the line here. We got plenty of time. Michelle St. Clair Shores from Michigan. Hey, thanks for being with us.
Hey, oh, and Sable has come to say hi, Nina.
Hey, Michelle.
I have a really funny story to tell you about your poetry book. So I bought her poetry book at National Women's Music Festival, and I accidentally left it at my ex's house. And when we were splitting up the house this last year, I had to sneak in and steal it back.
That doesn't make me an accessory, though, does it?
No, because there was also my grandmother's cookbook that was on the same shelf. For some reason, I just missed the shelf when I was moving. So I got you back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for wanting me back. I like that story.
And I actually prefer hearing it in person because I tried to read it when I bought it at National. I was like, it's just not the same when it doesn't come from you personally.
Yeah.
Off the page, I just don't get your oomph.
Yeah, I feel you.
I love hearing you personally.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. I feel you. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Michelle. And thank you for being with us tonight. And let's move on down to Monet. Would you like to say some words to Inina J? Oh, I can't
You're
hear
on
you.
mute. You're on mute.
Can't hear you.
You'll need to unmute Monet. Because I don't want to say anything. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's
You wanted
totally
us to
cool.
read her lips.
Okay.
Oh, good.
We're grateful that you're here, Monet. Thank you.
And let's go on to Christina Bueno.
Hey, Diana.
Long time no see,
Where's
sister.
Christina?
She's our sister
Oh,
from
I
New
see
York
her.
City.
Okay.
Hi, hello everyone. Yes, I'm finally back. I actually flew in from California last week. I was taking care of my father. So it was kind of a hard kind of series of events, but um, this is what my father wanted. And he wanted his freedom, and I understand that. So I left him in the care of his girlfriend. So your poetry, Nina J. Oh my gosh, it was powerful. I can't even imagine all of the things that happened in history, and for them to continue today, oppression and discrimination. It's Black History Month, yes, in theory, right? But just the way that you expressed this story through poetry, um, there have been things, there are still things that are occurring in this country that we've never really gotten rid of, like racism, and it's similar as well in the deaf community with autism and oppression that we experience. So thank you so much for your powerful words and for your powerful poetry. And I forgot, honestly, until you guys talked about it, that it is already Black History Month. But like I said, I've been on airplanes and taking care of family members. But good to know. And thank you so much again for sharing with us.
You're welcome. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Christina. It's so great to see you. We've missed you in the circle, and it's beautiful to see you tonight, as like everyone else in our Zoom. and on. Also, we can't see the social media people, but thank you for blessing us. I'm just going to do a little read to Anina J, some amazing words. So if you're still in social media and you want to say some things, please do. Deborah Roger says, Anina J, thank you for your most powerful, truthful poems. We've also had a few messages from Shelley Matthews, and I apologize now because I usually grab the messages before they disappear, and they've disappeared. But Shelley Matthews did write a number of messages to you, but the most current one she says is, your words and rhythm is amazing.
Musical.
Going over to another social media
Thank you.
page,
Thank you, Shelley.
Grace E. Dumaine says,
My sister.
so darn deeply powerful. Wow.
Love you,
Grace
Grace.
goes on to say, good to hear you, my sister. And she also says, where am I? We have another sister who is out in Madrid, New Mexico, in the
Grace.
state that we are in. She, every time you said something, Marilyn Brown would type something into the chat box. But the only message that remains, she just says, beautiful. So just know, and so if you're in social media and hearing us now, please keep those comments coming, and
Thank you,
I'll
sis.
share them through the Zoom.
And I'd like to go on to Christine McDewitt out of Ohio. How you doing, sister?
Hi, Christine. You're on mute.
Working on it. There we go.
All right.
I'm always a little slow on my phone trying to find this thing. Um,
Oh, we got an echo.
feedback. There's two of us in the same room. I just want to say it's good to be here and thank you very much. I always appreciate the power and energy that you share when I hear you read your poetry. Keep doing it. And thank you very, very much. You really touch me.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you for that, Christine, and also Donna. And also, I want to say in the chat box through Zoom, Miriam, it's a good way to weave this in.
There you are.
Thanks for your powerful words. Enina J, met you at the Ohio Lesbian Festival. You inspired my own writing for at least a year. Thank you so much.
And Miriam, would you like to speak now?
Thank you, Miriam. Oh, there you are. Thank you, Miriam. Is that you, the same Miriam? Well, of course it is. Thank you.
I think you might be on mute, Miriam.
Thank you, Enina.
Oh,
You're welcome, sis.
thank you, Miriam. I didn't even see you. Sorry about that.
Okay, let's move over to Diana. Diana Clegg. Would you like to share some words, sister?
Sure. It's good to see your face and hear your voice. And I was
Thank
wondering if
you,
you could talk a little bit about your class that you're doing.
I'm not doing a class. Well, I'm right now teaching a creative writing class for kids. I'm starting a writing group for adults. It's not a class. No.
Not a class. So
Oh.
what is it then? Can you talk a little bit about it?
It's a writing group for other writers who want to just try to stretch their range, play with language a little bit more. Sometimes when you do your own style of writing for so long and you get attached to using the same kinds of language and you forget how to stretch yourself. So I'm gathering some people together and we're going to try and stretch each other. And I called it Wedding Words because I like the imagery and that, the fluidity. I like things being able to move and take on a different shape with the same matter, you know. And so that's what I would like us to be able to do with the things that we write. I do have a lot of people that signed up for it, so I'm actually going to have to split it into a couple days because it's going to be
Wow.
impossible to hold space with any kind of intimacy with like 40 people in a room,
Oh my
and
God.
everybody won't get to read. So I'm going to do a couple of them, I think, a week. I'll think further about that tomorrow, but something like that has to happen. So I'm excited about it.
Nice. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Congratulations, Anina J. Actually, that's a good way to segue into Tash
Thank you,
talked
Tosh.
about.
That was Tasha's idea. She gave me
Yeah,
that
Tash
idea.
talked about earlier a poetry. Is that the same one or are you
Yeah,
doing something else?
no, this is I got this idea from Tosh the other day. We were on the phone. She gave me the suggestion, and it was like, boing. Should have been right there ready, but because it's going on all the time, So I'm ready to do it. So.
Well, congratulations. Uh, if people, are you still open for people joining or is it now closed?
Yeah. I'm
Where
not
can they
turning
go
anybody
to?
away. I'll just make a way to accommodate everyone and still get the kind of intimacy and energy that I want to create. So I'm gonna fix that. But I'm not gonna close it.
Great. And Anina J, if people are watching, whether that be live or the recording, where can they go to? Is it your Facebook page?
Yeah, it's on my Facebook page, and they can also look up the date. If I'm not sure how people search events, um, they could probably search the date, which is February 11th.
Amazing.
But it's on my page. It's on my page, and I'll make sure I put it on my page again once I'm done here.
Great. And I'll throw Anina's J's information up if you are looking. It's her Facebook page at e.nina, NINA.JAY. If you want to be a part of that, you saw how powerful her amazing poetry is in her own healing and her journey, as some people have mentioned, whether that be through social media, chat, or live, of how healing her poetry has been for them. So thank you, Anina J, for stepping up and doing that.
Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody. And let's move on down the line here. I want to get to everybody before we end it in about 8 minutes. Sheila Martinez, San Ildefonso. Can we hear from you tonight? Good to see you, sister.
Sheila.
Good evening. Wow, Anina J. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I like to paint. That's my thing. And as I was setting up here before you came on, and then was into it after you mentioned the part about the closet in your first poem, I started bawling. It brought something back about the closet, and I know exactly what you meant. And so for me, that helped me realize that I need more work with a therapist because it was so beautiful how it happened. I knew exactly what you meant. I wanted to thank you. Very powerful words.
Thank you, Sheila. I think what you just spoke is powerful also. And I just want to honor you for stepping into the space and claiming yourself as a survivor. It's never easy to do that, but you made the choice to do it. If only so I wouldn't be alone in it. And I love that. I appreciate you, Sheila.
All right. Thank you very much, Sheila. We miss you. Can't wait to see you in person. And Ina J, I would ask you to speak up again after I ask Missy if she wants to get on and say something.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hey,
Hi.
Missy.
Always good to see you.
You too, sis.
Yeah, you're a powerful woman. And and you're coming across with a powerful message. And I think with writing, it's very healing. It's very healing. And your poetry, it hits on the stuff that is really difficult, I think, for us to acknowledge and what is out there. And for me, it brings up, just knowing that that's out there in the world, and just, and how can we make a difference? and to help with those kind of things. So that, you know, we can be supportive of people that are having to go through stuff like that. You know, it doesn't always have to be that way. Like even with Native Americans, you know, we've got this movement for the missing and murdered Indigenous women. And it's not just women, it's men too. It's boys and girls that are disappearing and never to be found. And the numbers, the data is not even good. And you know, it's just for a number of reasons, for jurisdictional issues and sovereignty and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people just don't even report it. So so the numbers you see and the data and the statistics aren't correct. They're really far off. And so, you know, there's a lot of things out there that are hard for us to face. And it's the gritty stuff. It's really, it takes courage to look at it and to address it. And so I really give you a lot of credit for doing that, you know, for allowing us to put that into our comfort zone so that we understand that there's this struggle, there's suffering out there, and you know, what can we do to make a difference, or how can we pay attention to that kind of stuff, and so that, you know, you know, maybe and somehow we can be of assistance. So, you know, it's good stuff. So thank you, Nina. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Missy. I love you.
Thank you, Miss
That's my
Seed. We
sister.
love you.
Yeah.
We love you.
Thank you so much.
Annette Madrid, would you like to say hi? Good to see you, sister.
Hi, I really enjoyed this. I never heard poetry like that before, and I just thank you so much. I'm kind of shy,
Me
but
too.
but thank you so much.
Thank you, Annette.
It's great to see you, Annette. Thank
I
you.
don't believe that, Annette. No, I'm just kidding. It's good to see you, sister. All right, Renee Harcum, would you like to say some words?
Hey, Renee.
Hey, Nina.
Last one.
Yeah, you opened with runes. You know, earlier this week, I watched the video of that little 9-year-old girl being handcuffed and maced by the cops. And it really got your little 9-year-old, just had you on my mind a lot since hearing that little 9-year-old's voice, and wanted to see your face and hear your voice tonight. I love you. Not a whole lot to be happy about right this minute, just really heavy hearted. And I don't know, you feel heavy hearted to me too, but it's good to see your face. I love you.
Good to see you too, Renee. I'm always heavy-hearted, but I'm smiling too. So we could do both.
We can do both.
Yeah.
Right on.
And thank you, Renee,
Yeah, thanks for being with us.
speaking up and being with us and blessing us in the circle.
And our beautiful sister, Arletta Tolan from Lukachuka, that's L-U-K, Chandra. Her screen's frozen. So Arletta, we love you very much. You're a big part of our movement. And thank you for joining us tonight from the Navajo Nation. With that being said, everyone, we have come to the top of the hour, and in honor of what we said, which is 6 to 7 Mountain Standard Time, we like to honor our interpreters and start and finish when we say. Thank you very much, Chandra and Brenda, for joining us this evening as these amazing interpreters. And let's give it up for Nina J, who is our superstar forever. We're going to get her back here in New Mexico. We're going to let you all know she's going to be in this studio on this stage and reading her poetry. Love you guys.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Thank you,
Stay
interpreters.
safe.
Thank you, Elena and Tosh.
We'll see you
Bye.
next Wednesday one more time. Bye.